Is the devil, Satan, real or a myth? I am a believer, so I have no doubt about the existence of the devil. I look around this country today, and it is not the same as in my youth. Morality as I knew it is no longer the norm. I also know why the decline in morality. This decline was an essential part of their plan. My research writing the book, Exempt, led me to enter a realm I did not know existed. Very few outsiders have been inside this realm and lived to discuss it. More about that later. First, let's dig in the logical part of the question. Does the devil exist? In physics, it is stated, for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. This principle or law makes it clear. If God or good exists, therefore the opposite must also exist, the devil or evil. For as the song says, you can't have one without the other. Another law, the law of cause and effect, describes the relationship where one event, the cause, makes another event, the effect, happen, explaining why something occurs and what the result is. Now let's look at the scriptures to clear this up. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Ephesians 6:12. I said more about that later. First, my purpose is to provide the offer of proof that the devil exists. Now the cause and effect. During the time I spent researching the material for the Exempt series, a 4-book series that took years to complete. The process was like climbing a ladder that kept getting higher, adding rungs as I climbed. The story first takes place in New Haven, Connecticut in 1960, before the election of John F. Kennedy as president. The story portrays how and why JFK was elected, and also why he was removed. As I said, the story goes deep. It actually began before the American Revolution with the families who controlled America, before there was an America. During my research, I met many of these family members, and I found them to be honorable, very religious in their worship of God, just not the same God as I. They plan all effects many years, often 50 or more in advance. They determine who their servants will be, both elected officials and appointed ones. Their plan going back to the 1940s was to control all through debt. The U.S. national debt in 1945 was approximately $258 billion to $260 billion at the close of the fiscal year, driven by massive spending for World War II. Jump to the year end in 2021, total gross federal debt, $28,128 billion, 2843 trillion. That is a 10,930.23% increase. Where did all the money go? This massive transfer of wealth could not happen while the US dollar was backed by gold. They knew they had to remove the USA from the gold standard, and they did in 1970. I learned nothing is as it seems. All is an orchestrated play. Every sentence written years in advance. What spiritual powers are running this world? Who are their servants? Who wrote the plan? See that and know the answer, cause and effect.